Hi, this is Kate Graham. Welcome to the Heart's Frontier. If you are new, then please like and subscribe if you do like this video, and make sure you have the notification bell on if you are subscribed to make sure that you get all the updates of these videos coming out. Okay, so I decided I'm going to do a Sunday, October 18th to 24th reading. It feels like people need some support this week, so I'm just going to channel some general support, and you listen to what resonates with you. Take in what matches. I will say, sometimes when you listen to these videos, if there is something that does not resonate, but it does feel like it upsets you for some reason, that's something that's good to take a look at. I haven't heard anyone getting upset, but I just have this feeling like if you're listening to something and it upsets you, there's actually some lesson for you in that. So with that, I will begin. So this is the 18th to the 24th. What does the collective need to know for this upcoming week? What are we healing through this week? And what support is on its way? What lessons are we learning? Okay. So we have body care. With this, I'm already hearing cleaning, purifying, cleansing, hearing root vegetables, also feeling like plants and essential oils and natural elements are definitely being called for at this time. Maybe some sort of supplement like flower essence or essential oil, or and by that I mean putting on the skin essential oil, but ingesting flower essence. Divine guidance, and we have meditation. So that was meditation. I do feel this week we're being called collectively to take time for ourselves. So it's not about separating, but it is about going within. So in some weeks, I would say it behooves us to separate from people around us so that we can get clear in our own minds. This is actually, it's important for us to reflect and meditate so that we can continue moving forwards, moving outwards, and connecting outwards. In this meditation time, in this time of reflection, I don't want you to feel like it needs to have rules. It actually feels more like what you need is less rules and less demands, less things that you feel you need to do. And maybe in that time of reflection is when you understand more of that guidance that's coming to you, and so what you actually need to be doing at this time. It feels like you've maybe lost your way a little bit, or you just feel like things are moving very quickly, and so it's hard to stay mindful, hard to like get a breath. But the thing is, you can stop that cycle at any point. You can. But you need to stop it lovingly, right? Stopping it with force or with an interruption of some other thing isn't necessarily going to get you where you need to be. Okay. Divine guidance. So we have sexual energy and we have feminine energy. I am feeling drawn to point out the horse. This may be a scene where you've had blinders on and you've been focusing towards one goal, and then you realize there's actually a lot more outside of that for you to experience. The feminine energy feels like you really, really are being called towards balancing your feminine energies. If you have been too much in your feminine for you, then it's time to incorporate the masculine. If you have been ignoring that feminine energy within yourself, it's time to let that aspect of you be free and be expressed in some fashion. I often feel dancing is an appropriate way to connect to our feminine energy. I'm also being told that the way that we are currently navigating our sexual energies is actually, there's some deeper learning here for us to understand. So this sacral energy, and I'm being very guided towards the sacral chakra, this sacral energy is both creative and sexual energy. So if you would like, you can channel this into creative energy. Feels as though there's been an excess and it's causing you to feel restless or unsure or unstable. But this wildly creative energy is not actually inherently unstable. I think societally, like in society, we generally are made to feel as though these chaotic, expressive forces are unwelcomed. But if you welcome them in and use them for good, if you channel them into some sort of art, or if you make connection with yourself or with others, this is a really positive way of using this energy that fuels us as a collective, as humanity. I'm feeling some self-massage. Like I just feel like I need to be like touching my arms right now and touching my legs. If you have been lacking in touch lately, if you have been, which I would say is most of us, right? Most of us in the world at this point are having a little less common touch than we're used to. But maybe not. Maybe you already, yeah, I am feeling a lot of us are feeling like a pull away from touch that we're not comfortable with. You can positively touch yourself, right? There are so many ways that you can lovingly touch yourself, make sure that you feel at home in your body. Yeah, this week is really about taking a moment to check in with your body, with your physical home, and listening to it honestly. I also get the feeling like some of us have been pushing our physical bodies more so than the body would like. And so whichever side of this pendulum swing you're on, whether it's sort of going into, you've been a little too relaxed or so nurturing that you've actually lacked some sort of consistency or strength or discipline within yourself, which are all really important concepts, however they apply to you. I'm someone who, consistency and discipline is one of those challenges that definitely comes up. But I am very disciplined for living out my truth. So the more that I do that, the more consistent I can allow my life to be, the more discipline naturally it happens. So I don't believe it needs to be this forceful demand upon yourself. Okay, omens. I'm seeing a lot of birds of prey. Like part of it is because I'm just living by a lake now. But I am noticing a lot of birds of prey and their steadiness. So a quality that's coming out to me here is letting you know that you are more stable and more steady than you were made to believe. And that might be from other people. Feels like this has been a story that's been going on in your life that you're not quite sure if you're on solid ground. And I'd just like to let you know that you are. But there's a steadiness to being in the air as well as on the ground, right? So if you're feeling in flux, think about those birds of prey. They're flying, right? And they just have to angle so slightly for everything to go with them. And that's what this feels like too. It's only little things that need to be done now. And so in that way, if there's only little things needing to be done, you need to set your sights on what else is around you because there are bigger, better things waiting for you at all times. Omens. This could also be signs following signs. I do believe 1010 on the clock. So if you're seeing synchronized numbers, repeating numbers, if you're seeing signs and symbols that keep repeating themselves, it's a good idea to figure out what you're thinking about when you see them, first of all. Second of all, heed them. It feels like, so I'm getting like an insta headache. But it just went away when I addressed it. So it's like this crown chakra pain. And whether or not you're receiving headaches or not, this pain to me felt like not trusting what you're hearing. So it's like you're trusting and then your mind is like, nope, that can't be real. And I know that feeling. I'm such a rational person. Quite honestly, it's very, very funny that I've landed into this type of work. Like to me, it's very funny. as much as I love creative symbols and things, I really like a lot of things to make sense. And it took a long time on this journey for things to make sense. I was like, I'm hearing this stuff that's a little bonkers. It doesn't really make much sense. And hello. And I am acting as if, you know, these things aren't real, and it was causing me actually a lot of chaos and anxiety and depression, quite honestly, to be receiving input from a source outside of myself, to not trust it, to not act on it, and then to still see my situation as not resolved in life. Life didn't feel resolved. And so this is many years ago that I'm going back to explain this, but not trusting oneself is something that can come in at any point of the journey on this earth. But you're in a role here to do some teaching this week, to show people what you know, what you've learned, what you've seen. It may even be just teaching through experience, right? It may be showing folks around you what you know to be true, either about yourself or about the world around you. Maybe you're in a position, once you take that step away, to actually share with someone what you've noticed about the world. It does feel like this group, whoever's watching, does have some sort of call towards leadership coming in this week. So whatever that is, it's very exciting. It's so exciting to be in a position where you can lead others. It's how we change the world, right? One step, one interaction at a time. Okay. I am feeling, so I pulled some past life cards, which sometimes just give me subjects. Sometimes they pull me to a past life story. For this one, I'm feeling both. So I have angels and monk or nun. Okay, really a third thing just popped in, which is really funny. Okay, so first I'm feeling there is a past life here with at least a few people actually who will watch this, who had a, okay, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there's a car outside with its horn honking. Okay, I am feeling as though you are going to be, there's multiple things here. So there's a lot going on in your mind. There are going to be interruptions this week. So each time you feel like you're so close to getting that break, that peace inside of yourself, that moment away, things might get in the way. And I don't want you to see those as negative detours. They're actually really divinely put there to challenge you and to have you question the way you're doing it. So it feels to me like someone is, you know, it's like I just want to go to my room. I just want to go to my room so I can sit and think. And it's like, well, we need you to do this thing. We need you to do this chore that, you know, needs to be done. And you're the only one who can do it. Fine, I'll go do that. Okay. And then it's, you know, you think, okay, maybe I'll go and sit down, but then you're so exhausted from another thing that you had to do in between that maybe was, you know, for work or something. And then you're exhausted and you don't feel like the time is as restorative. So then the next day you go out and you say, okay, today is the day. Today I'm going to take time for myself. I'm going to feel like I return to myself. I go within my head. And then, you know, you're going to have some lovely thing that comes into your day that makes you feel really recharged and positive, and, you know, but you still don't take that time to yourself. And then finally, when you do get that time, you're so grateful, so thankful, and so at peace because of these positive and, you know, volunteering or helpfulness tasks that you've done, these kind tasks that you've done earlier in the week, that you're actually in a better place to now sit and be with yourself. Had you not had these positive interactions, maybe it would feel like you're just exhausted again, and it would be hard to get to that place of peace. So I am feeling like in past lives, that was like a whole tangent. I am feeling like in past lives, some of you may have actually had some sort of position within a religion of some kind, some sort of organized religion. And in this place, it feels as though you are not at like the top level necessarily, but you are serving in quite a strong sense of devotion. And actually what you witnessed, there were some things that you witnessed that didn't quite feel like truth to you. And so humans are as humans are, and sometimes we can try to communicate a message from the non-ordinary world and from, you know, a higher power and what have you. And sometimes that message gets misconstrued, or, you know, comes down and is delivered in a way that's not quite as truthful as how it was actually received. So it does feel like maybe you witnessed a religious leader, and this may be of this current life. It may be either a religious leader or an authority figure around you that says something that doesn't quite feel like truth to you. And there's a belief system that gets set up from that that really has taken you quite a number of years to unravel and figure out. And the truth is that may be true for that person at this time. And what it's actually allowed you to do is find the truth as you know it. And trust that overall, because we are all here to represent our own specific and unique truths to ourselves and to the world around us, so that we can shape those experiences, right? So my truth isn't going to look the same as anyone else's. Anyone else's. I can almost guarantee that. Okay, the monk or nun piece. So this does have to do with potentially you were in a convent type situation where you felt actually locked away. And also some of you right now may be feeling locked away. In the collective, I've had a lot of this, and this is only when I tune into the collective. I swear I don't feel a sense of throat tightening in the rest of my days. And I do feel a throat tightening. So please know that whatever is going on inside your mind is safe to go on inside your mind, and you can pay attention and you can listen to it. This feels like you're not listening to even the scary things that are happening in your mind, but you're being sent things that you can handle. Whatever you can concoct, you can handle, right? Your mind has seen some very interesting things, and it's ready to be focused and put towards a positive goal. So you've now done a lot of the sorting that your brain needs at this time to understand and reconcile with some things that were maybe scaring you. And now it's time to be moving on. What I'm seeing is monk or nun, but I actually see in my head monk or nun, N-O-N-E. So it feels like for some of you, maybe not all, for some of you, you may have gotten to a place where you actually feel pretty certain of the reasons that you're here, whether they be for love or peace or for connection, community, for collaboration, whatever reasons that you feel that you're here for. If you know your heart's calling and some of the ways that expresses, or even not the way it expresses, but maybe just some reasons for being here that you feel really pulled towards, and there's things in your life that you've chosen to be around you in your life, because you can choose to step away. It requires effort, so it may not happen right away, but you can choose to step away anytime you want. And you might have done that before, and you might be fooling yourself now to think that, oh, well, now I can't. You definitely can. Monk or nun. So take this path of devotion towards your heart, towards your truth, towards what you know to be true, and only the things that really help you feel like yourself, right? Choose that dedicated, devoted path to yourself, the monk path, or none, right? There isn't an in-between for you now. It does feel this week like if we've been on the scales, now it's the time that we choose the truth and the rightful side. So that's past life and current, and you see how that sort of makes sense, right? I am being asked to remind us collectively, to have faith and to set time aside to write down your dreams and your goals. Yes. I do have, if you are feeling quite unaligned, I do have an Align Your Life workshop coming up. I'll link it below. It's a really powerful, I'm doing it online this time, so it's a really powerful online workshop where you actually dig out the things that are not working, the things that are. I just tossed some cards onto the ground and I didn't mean to pull from that deck, so I'm gonna pick them up, see if they're valuable. Whew, okay. So I have a lot of dizziness and vertigo. sometimes because of doing this work, right, I'm just tuning into a lot of things, and so I just feel like toppling over. But this, to me, hasn't been going on recently, and so this sort of leaning down in my head pressure, feeling like, whoop, I just flipped completely over, and I didn't actually, I was just leaning down. This feeling to me of topsy-turviness has been really loud, especially for clients. It's feeling as though this topsy-turviness, yes, some of it is external, but a lot of it also is how you're interpreting the external. So what is going on inside of you and how you're seeing it. So if say your schedule gets rearranged and you're trying to, again, carve out space for something that you really want, either to have a conversation, something you really need to say, or whether it's just something you need to say within yourself, you're trying to find that time to clear this throat chakra and to really connect. But again, you're getting these interruptions and you're feeling as though stuff is just coming at you so quickly that you can't even pause to take a breath. But that's just not true. You are right now taking breaths. And so pausing truly whenever you feel you need to, whether it's a convenient time or not, honestly, could really, really shift your life right now. It really feels like a lot of us are at this point of when you take that stopping point and you start really saying, what's on my heart? What are my dreams? More will come spilling out of you. So we see the serpent and the arrow. If you're feeling very tired, please know that is going to be lifting this week. It really, really is. The serpent power of Kundalini is stirring within your chakras, gently asking you to embrace its mystery. Shed the old skin that you've been so attached to and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly that will bring you a fresh experience of your life. So yes, you need to get vulnerable with yourself first and with others in order to step forward. Self-preservation is useful and you may be overutilizing it. Your passion and sexuality, so again, sexual energy, feminine energy, your passion and sexuality are awakening, and this can be scary. So it can be very, very frightening when you become a little more unbound, when you become a little bit more free to express yourself and you start unwinding, and we're so used to being tightly coiled that when we start to loosen that up, we actually feel destabilized, and this is a really healthy, true, and honest destabilizing. The stuff that you are afraid of here will not be the stuff that you're afraid of when you're embodied and you feel within yourself like you're filling up the space and like you are being vulnerable and expressing yourself. You will feel like a new solid ground come out from underneath you. I am being told to remind you that your life is going in cycles, and so not to get caught up on just one at a time, but to take a big picture perspective. Trust the wisdom of serpent to transform your sensual energies into beautiful original manifestation. So think about what it is you're trying to create in your life. Whatever it is you're trying to create in your life, there's a few things you could do right now that get you closer to that goal. And I would ask yourself why you're not doing them. Okay, so sometimes I have really strange laughs that come out and I'm like, receiving this. Okay, so revolving this symbol, the arrow, or receiving this symbol, because I said revolving first. And again, sometimes when I misspeak, those words are important for us. Receiving this symbol reminds you that when you are in alignment with your heart and soul, you are on target and will be soon hitting your mark. So what is that mark that you're trying to reach towards? And could you take a shot at it now? Could you actually just try something, right? Because if you try something and it's something that's meant for you and it doesn't work out, there will be another opportunity for you to try and it will work out. If something is meant for you, it will work out, okay? If something's meant for you, it's trying to make its way towards you. And if you shoot an arrow and you miss, that's at least a little bit more noble effort towards that, and the universe will provide and understand and bring that thing closer to you, quite honestly. Whew. Okay. Be true to your calling. Release attachments and free yourself from the bondage. Remember, I was talking about feeling, I actually haven't read this little piece before, but remember I was talking about feeling bound and feeling bonded to things? Okay, of unbridled ambition. So free yourself from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intention meets the material world. So what you want is able to be gotten right now. It's able to be received. It's able to be sought after. The arrow also symbolizes the need to set your creativity free. So yes, this is something that we're all being called to do this week. I have been called to do so many more creative projects than I ever thought that well, who knows if I have time for them. We'll see. We'll see this week, right? If I get interrupted and have those times where I really just want to sit back and work on things. But this week is a week for encouraging your creative ventures and encouraging yourself to shed that old skin. I don't know what that old skin is that you're seeing, but I am feeling as though you know some of it. You know some of these things that are making you feel really tightly bound. Yeah, it's time to take some action towards that this week. So we have Servant. These are the cards that fell on the floor. We have Servant, Mother, Destroyer, and Midas or Miser. Okay, so servant is delighting in serving others with a free and loving heart. So this to me is all feeling like advice and parts of us that we need to bring out this week. So delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. If you have not been in a position of serving others, find a way to give back to others. It may be that you're not really in a position to do too much in your mind, but the thing is, we are always capable of doing something kind, whether it costs money or not. And we are always capable of supporting others, whether we fully understand it or not. And it does feel as though you've maybe been a little bit resentful. Like some of these people that you have been helping, it actually feels as though you've been resentful for it because it's standing in the way for you in some way. But you need to accept that all of these interactions that you're having are so useful to bring you back to your heart. And it's entirely entirely reasonable that you've spent time doing that. Now it's time to mother yourself so that you can move forward. So mother, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And giving birth to life, giving birth to creative ideas, giving birth to love and to all the special things that you really want to bring forth in this lifetime. The creative process does feel like a birthing process for many people. A lot of people refer to their creative projects or their businesses as their baby. And I believe that that's for a huge benefit to us. If we can really view these things and these projects and ideas in our life as needing nurturance, I think they get a lot further than, say, only having a paternal or masculine energy attitude towards it. Because if you say, here are the boxes, boundaries, here are the lines, here's the action you need to take, this needs to be done in this way, right? That's so key. And also the you can do it, right? Like both are important for you to be able to bring that idea to fruition. Oh, I'm getting really excited. I feel like a lot of us are very close to stepping into a new phase of our life that feels much closer to our dream life, you know? Okay. The reason I'm getting so excited is because there's this destroyer energy. And I do feel, for me, being more of a fire personality, I may not always present to you as fiery, but I am definitely a true Aries. The destroyer here says, releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life, or for new life. It says for new life, but a new life. So if you're thinking about getting pregnant, this may be a really positive week for you. The destroyer, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. So this feels like burning up everything that you've already seen is not fitting. And that you just have an inner knowing, like an inner sensibility that maybe it's not right for you. Maybe it's not a good thing to be doing with your time. Destroy that, you know, clear it out. It's done. It is done. That stuff is just over. Over. I feel like you've been getting in the way of your own dreams and your own potential because you're trying to make sure other people get to theirs. And I can understand why you would feel that way. But here's the thing. When you doubt other people's ability to get to their own dreams and own potential on their own, you're also doubting your own ability to get to your own dreams and your own potential on your own. So what you are giving to others and what you are seeing and viewing in others is reflecting to you a part of yourself. People are really good mirrors to us, and so this is an important concept for us to understand this week. If you are looking at others and saying, I really wish I could help this person see all the potential they have, see that they can live out their dreams exactly the way they want. I see that they're holding themselves back. How are you doing those things to yourself? Act on that, and perhaps it will inspire the other person, and perhaps it will not. Perhaps something way down the line is going to inspire that person, and perhaps it will not. But you have no control over that. You have no control over that person, what they choose to do. It is far better for you to live your authentic truth and to love that person, however is safe to love, than to doubt their own ability by trying to help them every step of the way. Yeah, you're actually, whoever this is resonating with, you are probably holding that person back, which is what's causing you to have friction and tension. You're holding them back by saying, oh, here, let me take that for you. Oh, I can help you with that. Here, why don't I? No, let them do it on their own. That is the strongest way. Midas and Miser, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold. Delight in sharing life's riches. So, share wealth if you have it, of course. This is an important card for that. To not feel as though you're withholding for, like, what is security? What truly is security for you, right? And really think about maybe if that's some way that you're looking to help someone, then there you go. That's a validation for that. I'm also seeing this creative ability to turn anything into gold. This can also be for internal concerns. So whatever is feeling icky in you right now, how can you alchemize, shift that into gold? I also do feel like you're going to be turning a corner where you're earning a lot of income soon for some sort of project or some sort of idea that you've had. Or you're going to be earning a lot so wealth can be in a number of ways, right? It may be that you're earning something that is not money, but is opportunity. It may be that you're earning deeper connection, if that makes sense. Okay. One more card, please. One more card from this deck. Just to round off. Whoop. One more card, please. She gets two. Oh, but they're so good. I have to share both, of course. Okay, we have love and compassion. It's a great way to end off any reading, love and compassion. For those of you that throat tightening, this whole not expressing your truth thing is really resonating with, tell more people that you love them this week. Yeah, do that anyway, actually. Whether that's resonating or not, do that anyway. Tell more people you love them this week. This has been a cause that's really been deeply on my mind lately, and I feel like I'm actually going to do a lot more speaking on it, but this withholding love that we are doing collectively is serving no one. It is doing nothing. This respectful hiding away of this really pure feeling of love that all of us have in some way is the thing that's causing us pain, right? So love and compassion, wherever you can stretch it, especially to yourself. Then we have tree, grounding. So if there's two energies, earth magic wise, that you want to take into this week with you, love, compassion, and tree, grounding. If you have not ever hugged a tree, maybe this is a good week to do that. I do it on a fairly regular basis, and I do talk to trees as well and plants and things, as you saw earlier. I do believe it's important. I'll talk more on that later, but this week, all that you really need to understand is that when you take that moment to ground yourself, when you take that moment away, you're going to be able to open up access for deeper love, more dreams, your own potential. There's something about your own potential you've been like shooing away And it will inspire and help everyone around you when you admit it to yourself and when you start acting on it, even if it's baby steps. And I do believe most people who are being called to this channel, love is at the core of why you're here, and you already know that. So it feels to me like if you're already here, you already know that one of the really, really, really deep reasons you're here is to fully express your love. So get the mind out of the way this week and figure out what it is you need to say that is said also to yourself. So make sure that whatever you're creating in the world, you're creating for you first, and then allowing that to shine outwards. Yeah, and if you need any help balancing any of these energies going on, please do feel free to connect with me down below. I do have a lot of personal readings. I do like to do sessions with people where we clear their energy and really help them shift, become a lot lighter, move on to their next step with ease and with assuredness. And a sense of comfort. I do like that as well. So yes, it's been such a pleasure reading for you, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.